Okay, we should be good to go. So first thing we normally do is a mic check, so that way, just to make sure that you're not louder than me or you're not as soft as me. So just babble on about something. Oh, whoops! I forgot to undeafen myself.
I realized.
Yeah, just babble on about some stuff because we're doing a mic check right now.
Okay. What do you Babylon? Do you want me to introduce myself now? Do you want me just testing?
Nah, just mic check seems good. Okay, the mics is good.
All right.
All right, that's best outcome we can look out for. Uh, oh, Turtle Pro, what's
Hi,
up? I haven't
Rab.
seen you in forever. How are you? And Crab, what's up? Is that one of
That's
yours?
Rab. That's my bestie in my mod.
Oh, I didn't know Crab was your mod. That's cool.
Yeah,
I know Crab.
they're my bestie.
All right, well, if the mic check is good to go, then I guess we are good to go.
All right, cool.
Anyway, hey, oh wait, I forgot one little tidbit. There we go. Good, you Turtle. I'm doing absolutely amazing. Hope you are the same. Welcome to the podcast. All right.
The chat box right
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the fellow pokeNERDS of the world. Welcome to the pokeNERDS Incorporated podcast, a Pokemon exclusive podcast just for us pokeNERDS to sit down, relax, and get to know other fellow Pokemon content creators in the Pokemon community. I am your host, your man Spence from the Poke Network. And ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know the guest today, you should know her. So ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to her. She is a Pokemon shiny hunter. She is a cosplayer and a damn good cosplayer at that. And on top of that, a cat mama, which earns my respect in all regards. You know her. You should know the name. It's a dessert. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podcast Cheesecake EXE.
Hi. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for having me, by the way.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to sit down with me and talk shop about what makes you a Poke nerd.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited.
Hey, it's all the same to me. I'm always nervous whenever I interview somebody, regardless of who they are, and I'm always excited to interview someone, no matter who they are. So again, just thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come down and chat with us. All right, so let's get started. All right, so the first
Hey, it's
thing.
your show. I'm just here vibing. I'm just a little guy.
I know I'm here to vibe too. Yeah. All right, so you know the talking points. So the first thing that we do is a basic introduction between the both of us. So as you are the guest, you're up first. Just give us an explanation as to what type of content you create and a retrospective of your Twitch journey, and just introduce yourself. So you have the floor.
All right, thank you. But hi guys, as Spence said, I'm Cheesecake EXE. I'm a mostly Pokemon content creator. I mostly do shiny hunting, usually just on Switch games. I would love to have a capture card for 3DS at some point, but I don't want to mod my current 3DS. Because I have the Fire Emblem Special Edition 3DS, so I don't want to touch it. I don't want to send that off anywhere, so I need to get another one to get it captured. But I also do some variety. Recently I got to work with Square Enix and they gifted me Life is Strange Remastered. So we actually just beat that recently and that was super, super fun. And I felt very honored to work with Square Enix. Love their games, love Kingdom Hearts, things like that. Um, as for my Twitch journey, I actually started out streaming in 2015 with my best friend Corvo. We ran the channel as it was called Meme Entropy, and we would just play co-op games together. I took a break. Our schedules just didn't work out, and I kind of took over the channel. And like 2 years ago, 2.5 now, maybe almost, yeah, 2 years ago, I changed it to Cheesecake EXE. Online, I went by like butterfly cheesecake and some other variations of it. And that was too long. So I was like, okay, what about Cheesecake EXE? Because I also really like Mega Man Battle Network, which is where the EXE came from. People love it because it's a little program, but also that's where it originally came from. It comes from Mega Man Battle Network. But yeah, as for that, like I did mostly variety when I got back into streaming in 2020 with the pandemic. I did full variety and I would stream like 12 hours a day and I don't know how I did it because that was insane. But I streamed a lot of like Phasmophobia, things like that, horror games, and now I'm just like to kind of like I realized if I wanted to move forward, variety is super super hard to start out with, and I know that. And I made so many friends that played Pokemon that I'm like, okay, what if I just start out doing just Pokemon? And I've fallen in love with it. I've met so many wonderful people. It's led me to so many different places, which I'm sure we'll get into a little more detail later. If not, I'll add it on. I'll make sure you guys know what's going on. But that's a little about me, my content creating
Excellent origin story. It's also cool to know that you actually started off as like a co-creators on one channel. I actually didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah. It was we did that for like a year or two, like a year and a half roughly. And then it just like we just stopped. Like some things happened in life where I was not able to create content for several years. And then we both had work and other shenanigans, and they're just like, "Ah, whatever, you can do what you want with the channel. We're still wonderful friends. They just don't have time and weird scheduling." So
Yeah, fair enough. I always wondered like what would happen if I like branched out and I would like this channel would have been between more than just me. Like it's been to got myself another creator on top of that. Oh yeah, I also forgot we had a hydrate before we started.
yes, everyone in chat, if you're here, please hydrate. Take care of yourself, or I'll get
Yeah,
you.
that is good. All right, well, I mean, my people know who I am, but for those of you who are viewing from Cheesecake side of the world who don't know who I am, my name is Spence, and this is the Poké Network. And yes, I put the emphasis on the because a lot of people just do it, not just me. I label myself as a variety Pokemon content creator because I do all types of Pokemon content. I do shiny hunting, I do challenge runs, I do playthroughs, I do podcasts on top of that. But I also dabble a little bit into variety gaming, mainly with mainly with Hades, because it's literally the only game I have been introduced to over the last 4 years that I have actually played, enjoyed, and downloaded. So once Hades 2 is finally released on the DS, I mean on the Switch, you can bet your butts you're gonna be seeing some Hades 2 content from me. But in the meantime, I guess all the boys and girls who have it had early access on Steam have been playing it full heartedly. But anyway, my channel started out basically as an inspiration before I actually started to put it into fruition, because I used to be a major YouTube watcher, and my favorite YouTuber of all time is MJTV, and I emailed him if he could potentially ask me, give me some advice on how to start up and whatnot. And to my shock, he actually responded, and I just took the advice he gave me, and I just rolled with it. And during the pandemic, I invested in my first setup, and came into the Twitch world as a complete ghost, because I didn't know anybody, nobody knew me, and for the first 6 months, I was honestly wasn't growing at all, and I was just streaming out there for God knows what. And it wasn't until I say my official start in Twitch was June 2020, but my real start was in January 2021, because that's when I got affiliated, and that's when the channel started growing. And everything that's led to this point is who you see before you today. The sunglasses wearing, cat dad loving, obstagoon loving, crazy SOB I am today.
My baby cat is somewhere. I'm sure she'll show herself.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think this is the first time you've met Demon, so.
I love
And
them.
and lately he has been a demon.
Is he chomping on you?
Yeah, he's a playful biter. He, he's a playful biter. He will just start biting me for no reason at all. But I love him anyway.
I do have a question.
What?
Is it hard to see in the shades? Like, does it make it hard to see your screens?
Actually, not. Actually, no. Believe it or not, like I could take these off and be perfectly consent like to this. Like the biggest reason I wear these is for two reasons. One, of monitor glare for my prescription lenses. You guys can barely see my eyes in the first place. And secondly, I kind of don't like to look at my own eyes, to be honest. When I look back at the camera and look at my own eyes, I just have a mental reasons why I don't like my eyes. So plus, after all, these are pretty damn stylish. I gotta say that.
I feel like it's part of the bit now. Like, if you don't wear them, it feels strange.
That's what I've always been saying. Like it's like I've been wearing these since I've been wearing these since January 2021, and it's basically just become my staple.
Yeah.
I mean, if people see me IRL, it's perfectly fine. But if people see me on stream without them, it's like, okay, what happened?
Like, what has happened? Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, we definitely agree on that. All right, so you kind of gave us the base of the origin story of your channel name, but where like I get loving Cheesecake, but why exactly was Cheesecake like the staple name that you decided to go with?
I had gone by, well, like I said, I'd gone by like butterfly cheesecake, but I'd gone by that since like middle school.
I see.
It's it's been over 15 years. Let's put it that way.
Like, is there like an origin story behind that, and that's why you decided to go with it?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It's whatever my little middle school brain thought of. And that's just what I did. And I was like, well, I still, because I use that name on like games and other social media. And I'm like, okay. Like my other like social media name I'd used prior that I still use on some stuff is Hot Crockets. Because I love Hot Pockets and I hate Crocs. I was like, I don't want to have to explain this to people if I'm Cheesecake. Like, it's cute. I now joke about how I was born at the Cheesecake Factory. I'm just like, that's my house. Like, when I join people's chats, it's really fun because they'll be like, oh, now I'm hungry for cheesecake.
Anytime
they need to hire me. I really, that's the goal, is I want to work with them. I know they have drip. There is Cheesecake Factory like clothing, and I want it. I want to work with them so bad.
I mean, yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal right there. But goal. Yeah, I haven't been to a Cheesecake Factory in a while. Like there's like I go to the mall and there's a Cheesecake Factory in there, but I never go in there for cheesecake because I mean a slice of cheesecake's like $10.
It's very expensive now. Yeah, like I remember years ago, like the most expensive one was like $6.
Yeah, like a few years.
Now it's like 14 for the most expensive one. Like, and the cheapest is like, it's like 9 something for like the basic.
Yeah, like I went to Boston in my second to last year of college, and there was a Cheesecake Factory in the vicinity near the vicinity where we were doing our convention for, and I ate there the first time. I couldn't even finish the first slice of cheesecake I had from there because it was like super rich and decadent. I was like, man, I can't finish this.
Some of them are so intense. It usually takes me like 2 times. Like I'll usually take the cheesecake home if I eat there, and then I'll like have some, and I'll have some either like way later or like the next day. I can't eat it all.
Yeah, I'll like I had about 3 slices of cheesecake when I was there, and I was able to not finish the first one done immediately, but I had the second and third one.
Oh my gosh, I could not eat 3 in one.
Yeah, but those are separate. Those are out separate days. I didn't do it in the
whole. I thought you had 3 all in one sitting, and I was like, damn, like I thought I liked cheesecake.
Not in one sitting. I don't want to get a short. I don't want a short road to diabetes. So unfortunately, no. All right. Well, off of the cheesecake topic, I believe you may or may not know my original username.
I don't know. Remind me.
My original username was pokeNERDS.
Maybe.
Hold
My
on,
memory
maybe.
is so bad. I forget what I'm doing while I'm doing it.
I don't know. Does this logo look? Does this logo ring any bells?
A little bit.
Yeah,
That's
that's my
wild
old
that you have a
logo.
huge like desk mat for it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's my old logo. But anyway, here's the base story behind that. So I knew I wanted to be a Pokemon creator when I, started doing Twitch. So I wanted Pokey to be in my username. And when I was in college, I was going for business administration. And I'll tell you one thing: there is a lot of group projects in the good dozen business courses that I was taking. And I was like, huh, I'm really good at networking with these people. Pokey Network. Huh, that's got a nice ring to
Oh.
it. So when I went and go typed into Twitch the first time I applied for my account, fortunately it was taken. So I was like, yeah, what do I do now? I didn't think of V at the time because I thought it was too generic. So I put S in front of there to, maybe a little je ne sais quoi or like make me stand out.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I stood out in the worst ways possible because, I mean, you're okay with using underscores. I'm not, and Twitch doesn't allow you to use hyphens for some
And you
stupid
can't use
reason.
dots either, so I couldn't be cheesecake.exe either. That's why I
Yeah.
had to go with the underscore.
Yeah, so I put the S and the P in my name were right next to each other, so people mispronounced my name up the wazoo. Like people called me. You can just imagine what people mispronounce my
Yeah.
name as. I
Yeah,
was
I
called.
had that problem quite a bit with my old name too, which was part of why I had to change that also. So I totally
Yeah,
relate.
yeah, like I was called Spoke Network, Spokey, S Poke, Spoken. Like there was just like so many mispronunciations, and so I to the point where I was completely fed up. And in January 2022, I rebranded the 2023, I rebranded the channel to the Poké Network, and it's been I think a more professional uh change because people actually don't mispronounce my name.
Yeah. It's always embarrassing, like, or like, and I feel embarrassed when I can't pronounce it. So it sucks on both ends of like whether you're like rating someone or like you're trying to read someone's name in chat. It's awkward where they're just like they're struggling, and I'm always trying to be understandable, but I know it can be
Yeah, me
frustrating because
too.
like I learned so my name was meme entropy before. I learned that no one could pronounce entropy. They didn't know what the word even was, and they pronounced it all sorts of ways. And like okay, and also before I don't know if like they had just launched it or I just didn't think about it, but like now obviously you can capitalize whatever letters. So when you show up in chat, whatever letters you want capitalized ours, they weren't. So they were reading it all as one word, and it's shenanigans. So definitely relate on that. Just getting nonsense when someone's trying to read your name.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried my damnedest to make sure I pronounced not only fellow streamers but also chat members' names properly. Like, if people correct me, that's fine because it's the first
Oh
time
yeah.
I've seen their name, and it's perfectly an understandable mistake. But it's not a mistake. I mean, as creators, we want to try and like not make as many mistakes as possible to make a good impression.
Yeah. I've had people just not tell me for months, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're pronouncing my name wrong." I'm like, "You didn't tell me." They're like, "I just didn't think it was a big deal."
Yeah, like one prime example. One of my community members, her name's Elisa. No, her name's Alyssa. Yeah, no, it's Elisa. But I always called her Alyssa for some reason. Like I always called her Alyssa, so I always mispronounce one of my staple community members' names.
Yeah, and they don't correct you. Just like, dang, or like correct me again because I'll forget.
Yeah, I know. All right. So let's get down to the nitty gritty details as to what makes you the Poké Nerd you are. So let's start off with the big one. What is your favorite Pokemon and why?
My favorite Pokemon. I made sure I had him on my desk. He's really okay. He's really dirty because I took him to Hawaii when I went to Worlds, and I've not washed him. But I love Delibird. It's my favorite Pokemon, and I've loved it since it came out in Gen 2. He has this little flower I put on him when I was in Hawaii. It's my
It's
favorite.
cute. So, why Delibird?
I don't know. He's Christmas. Christmas is a happy, fun time. I loved it as a little kid. And he's Santa Claus, but a bird. And I've always really liked birds. So I just was like, hey, it's Christmas and it's a bird. He's just a little guy. I loved him in the anime, how Team Rocket had the one that would like bring them stuff and kind of mean to them sometimes. But
I
I don't know. He's just a
I think
guy.
I think I remember the first episode that thing appeared in, and that thing was actually kind of a menace where it kept throwing like bombs out of its bag.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it'll use present and throw bombs and just do shenanigans. I think it was in like a weird Christmas special, like, back in the day too. But he's just a funny little guy. I don't know why. I just liked him. Like I have other favorites, but like he's like my super long time favorite. Sometimes it's hard. New gens come. I'm like, okay, well these are my favorite Pokemon from this gen, but he's probably just like my long time like favorite.
Yeah, I hear you. Like like my favorite of all time. I did not think for 1 second there was going to be a Pokemon in any generation that was going to overtake Darkrai as my favorite Pokemon of all time. But Gen 8 proved me wrong with bringing out Obstagoon.
Oh yeah. Obsidian's good.
Yeah. But yeah, biggest reasons why Obstagoon is my favorite is basically jumped into my top 10 from the very first moment I saw it because it just looks so cool and badass. I mean, plus it was based off of Gene Simmons from Kiss. I mean, I'm not a big Kiss fan, but I am a fan of rock and roll.
Yeah.
Plus, it was a dark type, so brownie points, and also that when I started my channel, I knew I knew I needed a Pokemon mascot. So I wanted to use Darkrai, but I knew at the time I was doing it. Patters was kind of using it as like a co-mascot along with like Rowlet and I believe Subnoodle at the time. So I was like, I don't really feel like I'm copying somebody, so I decided to go with Obstagoon to be like one of the first people out there to do it, and I think I am. But I'm after using it, shiny hunting it, and soon, next week, I'm actually getting a half. I told you this before, but I'm getting a half sleeve Obstagoon line tattoo on this arm.
Oh. Yeah, you said you were getting a tattoo. I didn't know you were getting Obsidian. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm getting the Obstagoon line from Obstagoon to from Galarian Linoon and Galarian Zigzagoon all tattooed all up along my arm from my elbow to my shoulder.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Do you know how many sessions it's gonna be to do all that, or you haven't even talked to someone about it yet?
Right now I got 3 sessions scheduled.
Okay.
Three 4.5 hour sessions scheduled.
Speaking is hard. That's
Yeah,
awesome. I'm excited to see it as it progresses.
I honestly would like to stream it, but I don't know if it would actually kind of work, because I've never done like mobile live streams before.
Yeah, and you don't want to be like in the way of like the artist because they're probably going to be moving around.
Yeah,
So they're
I
going
don't
to be
want.
like one angle might be good and the other won't, and like you can't move to check on things really.
Yeah, plus I don't want to. Plus I don't want to disturb his work, so it's better for me
Yeah.
just to keep my mouth unless he's talking, just keep my mouth shut and keep going. I was actually just recently with a friend and she was getting tattooed, so it was it was a great experience, I'll tell you what. So it gave me a fresh reminder as to what's coming for me next week.
Nice. That's soon. I could never get a tattoo. It kind of like I'm not scared of needles, but I don't like being in pain.
Well, here's the thing, like I don't care for needles as long as I know where it's going. Because
Yeah.
a nurse was drawing my blood and she couldn't find the vein. She was literally digging in the tissues of my arm, going like, "Lady, what are you doing?"
No.
So yeah, literally anytime anyone sticks a needle near me, I'm watching it as it's going into me because I'm that skeptic.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ooh, yeah.
Oof.
I don't want to think of it. Yeah, when I get like, I'll donate blood and stuff, but like, I don't want to look at the needle. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I used to donate blood, and I always looked to make sure the needle went in me, and I was, my blood was flowing into the bag.
That's good.
All right, so what about your favorite shiny Pokemon?
Oh, I really like that Palmy line. Honestly, they're pink. They're cute. There's a lot of good shinies. I think most shinies are good, and I'm yes. Espeon is a good shiny. I don't care. I love the lime green shinies. People that hate dragon, no. If it looks different, it's a good shiny. If it doesn't look different at all, I'm looking at you, Mousehold. It's not good. That's not good. If it doesn't change, Garchomp gets a pass because they changed the original color, not the shiny. The shiny's not at fault. You can't blame it. You gotta blame the original. But Palmy, I have some emotes. That are shiny Palmot. Can drop them in chat so people in chat can see them. But yeah, Palmy's probably one of my favorite shinies.
Oh, those are cool.
Oh, thank you, Rav. Rav's on top of it. Little confused one, and then my one that's holding the shiny charm.
That's cool. He's holding a gun.
Oh, that's Dedenne holding a gun. I like Dedenne. It has a good shiny too. But that's just a regular one. That's not a shiny. I wanted a Pokemon holding a gun. And I'm like, well, I'm already doing another electric rat. Maybe I should stick with another electric rat.
Uh, oh crap! My bow tie unclipped.
Uh-oh, you can't lose the bow tie. It's very important.
Yeah, I wear it to honor I wear it to honor our brother, the True Turbo.
Nice. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say there's too many. There's a lot where I'm just like, oh, I like this shiny, and then I don't know. I don't dislike a lot of shiny.
Well, that's good to know. But so I'm a Gen 3 baby. So before Gen 6, I would have told you my favorite shiny was Rayquaza. But since Gen 6, my favorite shiny is also my second favorite Pokemon, Greninja. The
Nice.
the goth frog has been a staple in my life for a long time. And fun fact, when it finally got when it was shiny huntable in Scarlet and Violet, I Masuda hunted that thing, and I choked on water finding the shiny.
Oh no.
Yeah, if anyone wants to see that reaction, !point Froakie in the chat, you can find that clip. But yeah, blacks, reds, blues, and grays are my favorite color schemes, and the fact that Greninja has all of them in its shiny, its body goes black, the tongue turns red, its fin like things stay blue, and its kneecaps go gray. I love it. I love all of it.
Yeah, no, it's a super good one. Yeah, the blue shinies are great. Like they're always so pretty. Like Psyduck looks really good.
Blue
I'm a
Ducky.
fan of blue. Yeah, that's so cute. I'm a fan of
Yeah, I like blue shinies too. Nidoking's definitely up there for me. Um, Yeah, one of the greatest shiny reactions I ever had on stream was for a shiny Nidoran in Let's Go, and I was probably about this close to losing it too because in Route 23 in Let's Go where you go over the ledge, it popped up like 3 seconds after I went over the ledge, and I had to run all the way around to go back to the spot. It could have despawned. Somehow it didn't.
It knew it had to go home with you.
Yes, it had to come home with me. Ah, man, that was a great time. I love that. I love that series.
Awesome.
All right. So, what about your favorite type?
Um, water and ice. It's hard to pick between them. I like water and ice type Pokemon.
I guess this makes sense because your favorite Pokemon's a penguin.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I can make it with a good water type.
Yeah, I think it's just like my favorite color is blue, so like there's so much blue in water and ice type Pokemon's color scheme, so I feel like that leans into it a lot.
What are your thoughts on Lapras?
I like it. Like it's not my favorite, but Lapras is a good Pokemon. I'm a fan of it. I feel like I'm like I mean, I really liked it in the anime when they were around like the Orange Islands and they had Lapras and stuff. And then now we have Lapras again in the Pokemon anime. For those that are watching Horizons, one of the legendary heroes Pokemon is a Lapras. It's very cool.
I haven't
They actually
watched.
like
Yeah, go ahead.
no, you can continue.
No, I'm
Sorry.
just saying. I'm just saying I haven't watched most of it, but go on.
Oh, okay. Not to spoil anything, but like they designed it very cool. Like so
Covered
it
in.
has more personality, so I'm excited to see how they go with it.
As the old saying goes, scars speak. But speaking of scars, makes I hide no I hide no what's the word I'm looking for? I hide no mystique that my favorite type is the dark type.
That checks out. It feels very fitting.
Yeah, like all five of my top five favorite Pokemon are all dark types. Obstagoon, Greninja, Darkrai, Hydreigon, Umbreon, they're all dark types. And I always just felt like a connection with dark types like no other type before. Plus on top of that, I have completed nearly a dark only Nuzlocke in every generation of Pokemon. So I need to I need to finish up my Dark Lock in Omega Ruby. I still need to do that. But after that, I need to do one in Soul Silver or Heart Gold and finally finish my Dark Lock series because I've done a Dark Lock in nearly every game.
That's gonna be awesome. I'm guessing you've posted them and on YouTube and stuff.
I kind of kept it to Twitch to be honest because I don't know. I've never been good at YouTube editing, so I never really made the YouTube videos for it. Plus, I play a whole unique character and whatnot. I mean, you know, like you got your cosplays. I got my OC, the Dark King Zeo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, you
Yeah,
can
like
see,
YouTube is hard. I could never.
yeah, like you could see Zeo's crown on top of my nerd cabinet over there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, well, plus my internet connection's being a royal pain in the butt right now, so I'm having frame drops up the wazoo.
Oh
I'll probably have
no.
to, yeah, I'll probably have to post a refresh message here very shortly.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, do I have a mod that can post a refresh message, please? But, all right, so dark types. Talked about that. All right. All right, so what is your favorite Pokemon game and why? And this can include the main series and the spin-offs. If you have one of both, you can just do that too.
I'm a huge fan of Pokemon Gala Darkness and Coliseum. I'm a
Yes.
huge fan of them. I can't deny it. Where are they? I have this. I'm mad because I love this artist. They had one of Michael. He was at TwitchCon, and I was like, "Oh, I'll come back on Sunday and I'll bring cash." So like, you have to do card. And he was like, "Cool." And then I was busy all Sunday and I didn't get there. But like, he's always at events, and I know he's like local nearby me, so I'm gonna get the Michael one with Evie. But I love this. There is no merch. There's no merch of it. I own the physical copies of the games. They're in storage right now. I moved a couple months ago and I still haven't unpacked everything. But I love those games. I started doing just like a casual playthrough a couple months ago. I do eventually want to shiny hunt in it, but I know it'll take a very long time. People that I've talked to are like, "Oh yeah, I'm on like 3,000 encounters or something for the first Pokemon in Coliseum, which is like a Makuhita." I'm like, I could not be me. I could not do that.
So yeah, I did a Gale of Darkness playthrough on an emulator um, for my 24-hour 1K follower celebration, and I continued the series onward. And it was my first time ever playing the game. I didn't play Coliseum, but I played Gale of Darkness, and it was such a fun game. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
yes, I had to get used to the double battling mechanics and the grinding system, but at the same time, I've never played a game like that before, and I was very, very, very impressed.
Yeah,
But
no, it was. I hope we get something that kind of style at some point later down the line. Cause like, I don't know. I don't think it's sold very well as far as I know. And I feel like now if they brought a game like that, a lot of the Pokemon community is a little bit older and they could understand like the concepts because yeah, like it was intentionally dark. Gala Darkness was actually supposed to be darker from what I read from things. They wanted to go down a slightly darker path, but they like reeled it in a little bit.
mm-hmm.
Um, but I feel like now some of the community are, you know, they're in their 30s or older, or like in, their 20s, they can handle more of a complex story. Not that saying kids can't, but I think it was definitely something that came before its time
Yeah, I
where
definitely,
people
yeah,
just didn't get it or they're like, "Oh, this is too hard and confusing."
yeah, I could definitely agree on you there. They're definitely like I believe that XD was made for more of the teen slash adult base for Pokemon back in the day, including to the today's relevant age. But yeah, I fully agree with you on that. Like I kid you not, if they released it for the virtual console for GameCube on the Switch, there'd be a lot of buys.
Oh yeah, yeah. I I know like the big thing now is like buy the Nintendo expansion pass. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'd rather them just put, have that too, but let people physically like they're like, "Hey, I just want to buy this one." Let people buy it because I know you could do that on the 3DS for some older games. That flopped apparently, as far as I know. I had so many games to play on the 3DS, I never went back and I owned a lot of those older games, so I never needed to buy them virtually.
Yeah, I hear
So I
you.
think maybe that's their concern. And maybe that's also why, I don't know. I know a lot of games are now coming out with like legacy collections, and I was like, please, Pokemon, drop it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Recently announced they're doing a legacy collection that's like a bunch of their old DS and Game Boy games.
Interesting.
Some of them that haven't even been released to the US before. So that's very exciting. So I'm hoping at some point maybe Pokemon decides to do that or just at least give us the digital version to buy. I don't like buying digital, but if I have to, I
100% agree with you. But what about the main games? What main game would you say is your favorite?
Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Definitely the Aurus. I love Sapphire. It was one of my favorite games. It was the first game I bought myself. So I walked to Best Buy. I gave them all because I just had saved up all my allowance, so they got a lot of like ones and fives. I paid and I bought an SP and I bought Sapphire in cash, and they were just like, "All right, child, here you go." So
The good old
I have
the good old days.
I have the most strong memories. Like I love I started with Gen 1. Like blue version was my first game. I owned silver. Apparently I own two silver versions because I found another one in a box of my things. I don't know where it came from. Because I know which one is mine because I covered it in stickers. And I found another like clean one. I'm like, what is this? Where did this come from? But so I've started from the beginning, but I feel like Gen 3 or like I was a little bit older to fully like grasp the story. The story for that game I really liked. Obviously I love water types, so when I got to, Kyogre was one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. I could see him.
But also, I've lots of Groudons too. So, but yeah, definitely Gen 3 is probably one of my favorites. So I have to go with Oros because it was such a great remake too.
Yeah, I could definitely agree on that. I'm a Gen 3 baby at heart myself. But in terms of my favorite game, I actually back before I restarted this series, I would have given you three different answers, but now at this point in the game, I can safely give you one answer, and that is my favorite Pokemon game of all time is Black 2, White 2.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I never played them, despite loving Gen 5.
Play them, please.
I own them now. I own them now. So they came out when I was in college. And I didn't realize that it was a completely different story at that time because I was working 40 hours and then I had school for 40 hours and then I had homework. And I was a graphic design student, so it's another 40 hours of working on art projects. So I had no time for anything.
Ugh.
So I just didn't know. I didn't realize how different they were. And I had so much going on and I'm just like, whatever. I'm still playing my black version over here.
Yes,
So
they are completely different, but they're different in the best ways possible.
yes, no. I hear only good things about it.
Yeah, like back in the day, it got a lot. Gen 5 got a lot of hate because it was basically kind of like a soft reboot for the series. But it's like those games are like wine. They grow better with age. So the games definitely got better over the games have been well more received over the years than they were in their initial release. Ugh, I have such
And
fond
like
memories.
I wish we would go back to how Black and White, I'm assuming Black 2, White 2 is the same thing where the whole until you get to endgame, you don't see any older Pokemon. Give us all new Pokemon. We can only interact with new Pokemon. Even if it's, it is a smaller pool of Pokemon you can work with until you get through the story. I would love to have that again. Because
Yeah,
that was so much fun. That's what I do myself in games is I will not use a I won't use any older Pokemon in my first playthrough. Like
yeah.
I'll still catch them, throw them in the box, but I will not use them until like later on and I'm shiny hunting them or anything like that.
Yes, I'm the same way, except for when Black 2 White 2 came around, because Black 2 White 2, you have the opportunity to use older gen Pokemon long before the post game. You can get a freaking Lucario before the second gym.
Oh my.
Yeah, but excuse me. But I'm like you in that way. Anytime a new game's rolled around, I've always used all new Pokemon. Gen 6, Gen 7, Gen 8, Gen 9. I always use brand new Pokemon, two different teams of brand new Pokemon, and I just like that experience. But Black 2, White 2, it kind of broke that chain, and I used older gen Pokemon plus the new gen Pokemon. Hell, right now I'm doing a DTQ in the game, and right now my current team is going to consist of my end game team is going to consist of a shiny Lucario, Arcanine, Magnezone, Crobat, Crocodile, and Haxorus.
Oh, that's a good team though.
Yeah, and I'm stuck in the sewers trying to find a green bat when I've actually phased twice and failed twice to capture two green rats.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, XD Gale of Darkness. Yeah, failing shiny is never good, especially a full on shiny for God's sakes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm also like you, where in XD Gale of Darkness, it was my favorite spin-off game. If I never played XD, I probably would have said Shadows of Almia.
That's fair. Yeah. We love the mystery dungeon in this house.
That's Shadows of Almia was a ranger game.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're right. Ranger games are also fun. I play Shadows Omnia. I might have borrowed it. I think I borrowed
Yeah.
that one. I don't think I beat it. I think I borrowed it.
Yeah, I played Shadows of Almia and Guardian Signs. I never played the OG Ranger game though. Wow, that's what we need.
I played the OG way too much, and I think my parents were sick of it.
Yeah, we need a new
They were
Ranger
sick of me
game.
going. I'd be like in the car, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to catch this Pokemon."
We need a new Ranger game where our Joy-Cons are stylized and we need to go wee.
Oh, why did they not come out with a Ranger game for the Wii? Why did we not get a Ranger game on the Wii?
Actually, I think in the Wii there's like a Wii emulator system where there's the Ranger games are on there for the Wii U.
Oh.
I think. I mean,
could,
someone
like
correct me if I'm
like
wrong.
on the download store.
Yeah, like the download
Back
store.
when that was up.
Yeah, like correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember somebody doing a playthrough of Guardian Signs on like a Wii U system, and I'm like, how are they doing this? I'm not sure why or how.
Maybe it's. I'm guessing it was probably emulated on there. That's my guess. But I have a Wii U. I played a Wii U, but I played mostly Smash Brothers and then Splatoon when I had it. I didn't have a lot of games for it, but the few I had, I really enjoyed. So I think I just never got into that.
I hear ya.
Rip the Wii U. It could have done so many things, and it didn't do a lot. I still appreciate its existence, so we could have the Switch.
Yep. What the heck? Where did I write that?
I have the next one.
I don't know. What are you doing? Crazy cat. Okay, let's move along.
My baby's somewhere. Oh, she's in her cat tree sleeping like a lazy bum.
Yeah, I hear that. But all right, let's move this right along and go from love to hate. Let's see how much hate you have in your soul. So, what would you say is your least favorite Pokemon?
It's called Bruxish or whatever, that ugly fish.
Bruxfish. All right. That means I get to knock three birds with one stone. No, that means I get to. That means I. Oh man, that means I got on 3 of those stupid things.
And is everyone saying they hate it?
So far, you are the 3rd person to say they hate Bruxfish. The first one who said it was Cybernetic Axis. The second one was Typhlosion Tycoon, and now you.
I'm so sorry.
I mean,
its shiny's good though. It has a good shiny. It looks like pizza.
Yes, I agree. The shiny is good, but at the same time, and now I gotta hunt 3 of them.
hey, if you Masuda it, you're like already started.
Yeah, but yeah, that fish isn't going until like round 3, I believe. I'm only in round 1.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I got a long ways to go before I get to it.
You'll get there. It's really funny. So they had a huge like poster put up because they have like when I was at Pokemon Worlds, a lot of like Alolan Pokemon, a lot of water types, and they had a huge poster of this thing, and I was taking a selfie with it, and this staff member's like, "Would you like a picture with that?" And I said, "No, I hate this guy." Because I just want to take a selfie and post and be like, "It's my least favorite Pokemon, guys." And I just straight up like didn't think, and I was like, "No, I hate it." I was a little unhinged.
Oh, good lord! I would have said I would have said the same thing. Like, I think if I was there and there was an Alolan Persian poster, I would have taken it, just tore it off the wall and started shredding it in front of everybody and be like, "No, no,
I like him. He looks like Garfield."
Yeah, you can like him all you want, but I hate that thing with every fiber of my being.
He's just squishy. You just squish it and grab its little face, and it's cute.
No. Guy. Forget it.
He just looks like Garfield. You don't like Garfield?
It's not that. It's not that I don't like Garfield. I mean, it's one thing for me to hate a dark type so much, But it's one thing for me to hate a Pokemon so much because of circumstances, mainly because it's the ace of the first thing we ever got that was closest to a dark type gym leader before Piers and Marnie were a thing. Why couldn't you just had an Alolan Muck, Nanu? Why couldn't you just had an Alolan Muck?
Because the person's cute. He just likes cats. He's just a cat dad. Okay?
I hate that thing.
He's just a cat. He likes cats, okay?
I don't think he's a cat dad. I think he's just I don't want to call Nanu a disgrace, but his decisions are extremely poor.
Yeah, Persian's just round.
Yes, he may be round, but he's round in the worst ways possible. I mean, for God's sakes, it looks like you have a watermelon stuck in your head. You might as well just keep seeing a doctor every 5 seconds.
That's so mean to him.
Ugh. God. Disgusting.
That's fair. You know what? That's fair.
Yeah. But anyway, what about your least favorite shiny Pokemon and why?
My least favorite shiny. I really want to say Mousehole just because like it's not that different, but it's different enough. Like yeah, I mean I really hate that one right now. I don't like shinies that look the same. They don't change.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people
That's
have the
my
same.
only reason. I don't like people be like, oh, like I said this earlier, they don't like the ugly colored shinies. I'm like, no. It's just if they don't look different, if I can't walk around and tell the difference, like Slowpoke now, it's technically like Slowpoke follows the same thing as Garchomp. It's not the shiny's fault, it's the original's fault because so much in newer games is that the OG Pokemon have lost saturation. So many Pokemon desaturated. Slowpoke used to be like purple. Same with like Gengar. It was very vibrant and strong, and they just desaturated the hell out of it. And that's where a lot of our problems are.
Well, one Pokemon that got sorry.
No, you're okay. Go for it.
I was gonna say one Pokemon that got a major desaturation was Drapion. Because Skorupi, regardless of the game, is still that vibrant red, but then Drapion comes in here. In Gens 4 and 5, you had a nice vibrant red shiny, but second Gen 6 came around, bam! No more deep red.
I don't know what's with the desaturation. I'm sure there's some explanation for it. Because in games in general, they like I think it's just because with our limited hardware and everything like that, is they did have to like have such high contrast to tell the difference at all. And maybe what we're seeing now is what they truly intended. But I'm kind of like, man, we had the other stuff for 4 generations or whatever, or even more. And then they just totally change once they're in these like 3D models. It's I'm wondering if there's an explanation for that somewhere buried. I haven't seen any. I haven't really looked into it either. Um, but yeah, I'd probably like because it's hard. Like, because I want to say like Slowpoke and stuff because Slowpoke you can't tell the difference. Like Pokemon were like, especially with Scarlet and Violet, you can just see it out in the wild. If I have to just tank everything around me because I can't tell the difference, then it's a bad shiny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like for me personally, hey, get your paws out of my bow tie.
He wants it. He wants to be fancy.
I've taken his. He hasn't really had his toys all week because he got neutered last Monday.
Oh no.
So yeah, he's really fixated on trying to play with stuff.
I'll give him his
anyway,
toys back.
But yeah, my least favorite shiny does come from Gen 9 as well, but it's a trio. Charcadet, Armarouge, and Ceruledge.
Armarouge and Ceruledge they got done so dirty. I don't know why they didn't just palette swap them. They are literally the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon.
That's exactly what I've been saying since day one. This is all
Like,
that's different. This is the
just the
shiny version of me.
eyeballs.
Yeah, when people see this, I guess this is the shiny version of me. But when I
I'm
put these on, that's the
okay with
normal one.
Charcadet having just blue eyes. I'm okay with that. But if its evolutions had a palette swap or something, it would have been way better. Even if just like the flames on them changed. Something.
Yeah, I agree. Like I've always said, make Charcadet a charcoal gray color, so that way it can palette swap.
Oh yeah, just straight up making it look like charcoal. That would be cool.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not what we got.
No. No, yeah. Cause Sarah is one of my favorite Pokemon for the new gen, and just seeing its shiny, I was like, well, I'm still gonna shiny hunt this. I don't want to, but I will.
I will never shiny hunt those things.
I have one. I need to shiny hunt two more.
Yeah, I will never
Because I'm
shiny
going
hunt
for
it.
living decks though. I don't get a choice. I mean, I do have a choice. I could just not do that. But my choice has already been made that I'm doing a living dex, and it's gotta happen.
Yeah, well, I choose to not do a living dex, and I choose not to shiny hunt those disgraces. It's it's so stupid because back in the old days, shinies were created by an AI program, when nowadays they're created by actual people. So who in their right minds think these shinies were good ideas?
They wanted to make us suffer.
Yeah,
As Pokemon does sometimes, they want us to suffer. Fine.
yeah, they definitely want us to suffer with the some of the coolest Pokemon coming about this day and age. Have some of the most bullshit shinies of all time.
It's the fate we've accepted, I guess. We don't get a say.
We creatures that love Pokemon are nothing more than gluttons for punishment.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. We'll pay Pokemon Company to let us suffer.
Agreed. All right, what about your least favorite type and why?
My least favorite type. I like don't care about dragon type that much, which might be controversial, but so many good dragon types have, secondary typings that I do like, so it's not like I hate the dragons. I just like I don't know, I want 'em to get a little more creative, I think, on dragons.
Where's Dragon Tamer Tom when you need him?
He's gonna come for me. He's gonna become my sleep paralysis demon.
Wait, is
But
that
I
why
just
he was?
I feel like we gotta get more creative with dragons.
Is that why he was chuckling at me earlier? I don't know. I
I
was
don't
in
think
his.
I've told this to anyone. No one's asked me my least favorite type. No one knows. This is the first time people are
Well,
asking.
nothing's wrong. Well, I mean, nothing's wrong with hating dragons.
Hey, I don't hate them. I think there's not that many dragons that aren't just straight up legendaries, which I love. I love so many that are, but I don't know. I want more regular dragon type Pokemon that aren't legendaries and have them get a little more creative with them.
That I can agree with. Dragons are severely overused with legendary Pokemon. I fully agree on that. Let's see. Let's see. In Gen 3 we got Rayquaza. Gen 4 the trio. Gen 5 the dragons. Gen 6 a dragon. Gen 7 no dragon. Gen 8 no one dragon. Gen 9 two dragons. Yeah, just too many dragons.
Yeah, because I even I thought about it more the other day because I was doing Dynamax adventures with friends on stream, and we're like, let's do random one. And that's fun. But then when the end says it's a dragon type, we're like, well, that could be literally 90% of the legendaries. So we're just gonna go into it and pray. We're gonna go and pray.
Go and pray.
Um so yeah, a little overused on legendaries doesn't mean I dislike any of those Pokemon. I love so many of the legendaries. But I want something more creative with our generic, like we see them around. Like we're past the point of we just have a few dragon types and they're the rare ones, or they're like the powerhouse Pokemon. You know, we're getting regular Pokemon that are dragons, and we need a little more of
Yeah, yeah, I can agree on that. It's just dragons are overused. I mean, I also get like why does like nearly every pseudo have to be a dragon? Like,
That's
come
where I'm
on.
at. Yeah. Yeah, all the powerhouse Pokemon. I get that's what they're kind of calling the Sato legendaries now. I think officially for Pokemon they're referred to as powerhouse Pokemon.
I have yet to hear that term for call for pseudo legendaries. I have yet to hear that term.
That's what like the official like what I've been hearing a lot on like the streams. So the casters are using that term now.
Interesting. We'll have to look into that. But for me, screw fairies. I hate them.
Oh no. People
I
gonna
hate
come for you.
like okay. I'll correct myself. There are 5 fairy type Pokemon that I actually like. I like Gardevoir. I like Togekiss. I like Alolan Ninetales. I like Mimikyu. I like what was the other one that I like? It'll come to me. But yeah. Oh yeah, Sylveon. I like Sylveon.
Okay, I was gonna be like, people are gonna come for you if you don't say Sylveon.
I those 5 fairy type Pokemon I can stand. All the other fairy types I just don't like them. The fact that they nerfed dark types when they didn't need to be nerfed. The fact that it got a gym leader, the fact that it got both a gym and a legendary, the generation it was introduced. Uh,
They have to
dark
show
type
off. They'd
Pokemon.
be like, look at our new fairies.
Yeah, dark type Pokemon waited so many fucking years for a gym. Yet Fairy got one right away. Elite Four members are not the same.
We did need fairy though. We needed it, you know, to beat down dragons and stuff. You know, they needed something. There was too many, like I said, there's too many like powerhouse Pokemon that are dragons. We needed something to take them down. So like your big beefy dragon can get taken down by a Comfey or whatever.
Plus, there are Pokemon that don't even need to be Fairy type Pokemon in the first place. For the biggest example, I always bring up is Granbull and Snubbull.
I mean, Snubble's pink. It's cute.
Yeah, but at the same time, it wasn't. Tiny Tina brought this up to me. The only reason they're Fairy type Pokemon is because their literal classification is the Fairy Pokemon.
Oh, that's so strange. They're just dogs.
I know.
They're just dogs. Why are they the fairy Pokemon? I didn't even know. I didn't realize that.
That's what I've been saying all this time. I don't know. I don't know.
That's strange.
Ugh, very strange. Okay, what about your least favorite game? What Pokemon game do you not want to play ever again?
Let me think of like a mainline Pokemon game that I
I
don't
mean, I mean, if you can't think of, I'm sorry, I got a message from my brother-in-law.
No.
Like you it doesn't you don't need an answer for both. I mean, what Pokemon game have you played, whether it was a main series or a spin-off game, and you don't want to play it ever again?
That's hard because there's not something I would never want to play ever again. Like I'd want to pick it up.
Or should I say, like,
Um,
which one caused you so much grief that it's hard for you to play it?
that's hard because like I love Pokemon. There's not a lot that I hate.
Well, to be fair,
Um,
well, to be
one
fair, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. One that it's very hard for me to play. I still want to play more, but I really can't play more than like an hour. Is the new Pokemon Snap because the controls and the only reason I have is because my friend gave it to me and she's like, it made my vertigo really bad. And I played, I was like, I don't have any of those issues, but it makes me kind of nauseous to play it sometimes. But like I still like it. It is just hard to play.
I see.
Um, but every Pokemon game I've played, and like there's some weird spin-off ones, I haven't picked up before, like older ones that maybe I missed. But I would say anything that I've actually played, there's nothing that I would never pick up again. Um Even like older ones that are a little bit outdated, like yeah, I could, instead of playing silver version, I could play the remake. But I'm like, I would play the original too. So it's, I would say there's nothing that I wouldn't play ever again, just because I I don't know. I'm sorry, Pokemon Company. I'll die for you. I know you don't care about me, but I'll die for you. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like there's no game that I just would never be like, I'm never touching this game. Like if I had all the time in the world, I didn't have work, I didn't have to worry about bills or something, I'm like, yeah, I'd go back and play all sorts of games. So there's games I would prioritize over others. But that's something I really wouldn't play again. But for you, like what, I'm sure you have a very strong opinion on a game you would never play again.
Well, it's not that I don't ever want to play it again. It's just that it's way too easy to play that I have no enjoyment playing it. X and Y.
That's, yeah, I liked X and Y, but I think it was like our first like 3D kind of game. I loved how it was done. I love skating around.
Yep.
Riding Go-Goat, which please, I want to ride Go-Goats again in ZA.
Yeah, it's like I know it was the very first 3D Pokemon game, so they really tried to like work on a lot of the mechanics and the 3D rendering and all the other 3D aspects of the Pokemon game, but at the same time, they're just way too easy. Like they're literally the easiest Pokemon games pretty much since like jeez. Ugh. It's hard to think of a Pokemon game that was way easier beforehand. But it was
Yeah,
just like it's I think it started like the whole hand holding process of Pokemon games, to be brutally honest.
I
Demon?
think what
No.
they, uh-oh.
Sorry.
Um no, you're okay. Cat's got to do what cat's got to do. Um I think what I was hearing when those games were coming out and later on is that they wanted Pokemon to be more accessible to brand new players. So a lot of them played out, um, through the games, and even a lot of times early on, mostly is it was someone's first introduction to Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
And so people that have been playing either several games before or literally from the beginning were like, this is handholdy, this is annoying. And I felt that a little bit. I did feel like the game was easy. But I understood where they're like, we want Pokemon to be more accessible. And that's always what they've wanted. Like Pokemon at the end of the day was originally made for children. Like it is a children's game. And they want it to be easy, and they want even someone who's never played a Pokemon game before to be able to pick up the new game and understand it. And I understand that to an extent. And I wonder if there's a way where like maybe future games will have a, hey, I want the beginner mode, so you'll go through more tutorial, like in the early part of the game. If you're like, no, I'm a pro at this, like have 3 levels or whatever, but at least have like hold my hand baby mode. And then someone's like, hey, I've been playing a bunch of Pokemon games, I don't need this, and you can just get in right away. But then for, people, they can have that tutorial, they can have the explanation of what are Pokemon, all the throwing mechanics, how do you catch a Pokemon. But I understand the game's having that because it's part of the story of you're a brand new trainer starting your journey. And that's how they play it off. But I'm sure they could make it a way where it isn't as handholdy. I'm just not sure how they would want to go about it. It's not like it would take up too much memory to add another starting point, because as soon as, like, let's say you get to the first town, the game continues as normal. It stops having these divergent, stories in the start.
I could have said it better myself, but basically what you're talking about is challenge mode. And Black 2 and White 2 actually have a challenge mode, but the problem is you have to actually play through an entire game file of the original game in order to unlock this challenge mode, which then you can transfer to another game of either Black 2 or White 2 and then play that game in challenge mode.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. What did you grab this time? Uh, Cat always finds a way to find something. But yeah, so aside from that, the games also were just felt really incomplete because there was so much unexplored area of the game that, like, it was put in the game for what purpose? Hey, you good? You froze. You're kind of frozen. Oh, I'm cutting out? Oh, hey, there's two of me. Are we good?
We should be good.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not.
know. You were cutting out, and I couldn't hear you, and I'm like, maybe it's me, so I'll leave and come back.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I couldn't hear you at all.
Okay. Um, I lost whatever you said when you went to go get your kitty.
Oh,
That's where it froze out on me.
oh, I see. I said there was another reason why I don't like X and Y is because there's so much unexplored area of the game that it just felt really incomplete.
Mm, that's fair. I do think I wish the main story had more. Like, I wish we did more like Team Flare, and then what it was. She was one of the Elite Four. I forget her name. She was part of them, but they didn't really do anything with it.
Yeah, Malva.
Mava, yeah, I'm like, you could have done so much more with her and made it a big reveal when like you go fight her in the Pokemon League, or you find out even before that. I do like I love AZ and I love that storyline. So like I honestly don't remember of the actual storyline, but I remember that side storyline a whole lot, and that was so much more meaningful and impactful to me that I wish they did more with it. Or I mean, it's still connected to the main storyline, but I wish they put like that much emotional ties to the main storyline.
Fully agree with you on that. Fully agree with you. There's definitely going to be some touching of AZ story in ZA. Like, there's like anybody that anyone can predict that.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what we learn, cuz like we're not going back 3,000 years though. So I'm wondering like maybe we'll run into him while he's looking for his flow
Well, when Glaxon 13 was on the show, he speculated that the games are going to take place in the future because it's more like an urban development system. So he thinks that it's going to take place in a future version of Lumio City, like maybe 10, 20 years after the main story of X and Y.
That would be that would be cool too. It does like the trailer did seem very like futuristic, so I could totally see that. I think
Mm-hmm.
and that would like I feel like that would surprise a lot of people cuz like we're assuming okay, the legends we had Legends Arceus and that was 500 years in the past in like Meiji era Japan, and that we're going to get something of a similar time period previously. But yeah, being in the future would be also equally.
Yeah, that would be very cool. All right, so you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but what was your like very first experience that you can remember when it came to Pokemon?
Um, this is okay. This is really funny. So when you think about like Catholicism, you think okay, the Catholics hate Pokemon. They think it's the devil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I went to church school one day a week when I was in elementary school, and as little prizes for us participating, because like all we did is watched Veggie Tales and colored Jesus coloring books. They gave us Pokemon packs, and that's how I got introduced to it. They gave us Pokemon cards in a Catholic school,
Well, dang! I wish I went
which
to
is
your
why
church.
I'm like they're based. um But yeah, so came home and the first Pokemon card I ever saw was like the original. I even look it up. The first Venonat card, and that was the first Pokemon I ever saw. I was like, I love this little guy. So that specific card is very dear to me, just because that was the first Pokemon. That was my first introduction. It's the first Pokemon card I ever saw when I opened up a pack. But yeah, that's what they gave it to us, and then it was over from then. Then we were getting cards. My dad would buy me the cards. I, got little figures. I remember going to San Francisco on like a family trip, and we just kind of wandered into some bootleg store, and they had Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I remember getting Yu-Gi-Oh packs before Yu-Gi-Oh came to the States there. And I got, little Pokemon figures that I still have to this day. I got a little, it was a very strange, it came with a little tiny Master Ball and a ball. It was like an S ball, but it's no other ball I've seen. I don't know. They just made it up, some knockoff. And it came with a Vaporeon and a Jolteon. I still have those figures.
Well, that's so cool.
Um, but as for like the games, my first game was Blue version. My friend gave me definitely a used copy because it still has some weird like barcode sticker on the back of that Blue version, and they gave me a Game Boy Color. I guess they were maybe they I don't know, they got a new one or something. We're totally fine, or they're just like, just give her this one, whatever. But I got a teal Game Boy Color and blue version. I did have like one of the OG Game Boys before that, so it wasn't like my first introduction to for Pokemon. It was a teal Game Boy Color and blue version, and I played the hell out of it. And I looked in the battery's still good too somehow. I don't know how. No, those batteries can die. The battery is still good, and occasionally I'll go onto it and I'll go. You can forget the island that Blaine's gym is on, and go up and down and do a thing a certain way and get into Glitch City, and I'll just do that and I'll wander around.
Glitch City.
When I've had my fun, I turn off the game. Go say hi to Missing No. Turn off the game. So that's my first introduction to
It's always cool because everyone's got like these really cool stories regarding these things, and I just got probably like really just bare basic bitch story when it comes to being introduced to this series because like the only like first thing I can remember when it came to Pokemon was the three episode cassette tape that had Pokemon Shipwreck, the Isle of Giant Pokemon, and Tentacool and Tentacruel, which fun fact is now a banned episode in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but watching that anime for the first time, it just really mesmerized me as a kid, and it just like those like one of the coolest things I ever seen before, and it's just I was like, wow, this is amazing, this is so cool. My vocabulary wasn't the best back in the day, but uh, so after I watched the anime for a little bit, I got introduced to the cards and I saw a bunch of the classic cards, like the classic Nidoking card, the classic Charizard, Black Rocky Pikachu, all this other stuff, and it's just like, wow, this is even cooler. Then a few years down the road, I actually played my very first Pokemon game, Pokemon Sapphire, and it was definitely a used cartridge because the game was already completed, and I was playing with a level like 97 Swampert, and I was just going around and KOing everything in sight, and I was like, this is extremely cool. And the rest is the rest is history because I started playing the Pokemon games, and I've been in love with the series ever since.
And look where it took you.
Yeah, look at where it took me. Now I'm a content creator doing Pokemon stuff, and I have my own podcast.
Yeah. It's taken so many people in so many amazing places, and it's been a wonderful journey. But bringing up like the rocket cards and stuff, they actually announced at Worlds that they're coming back. They're bringing back trainer cards, so we're gonna be getting Rocket and like the gym leaders cards. I think they showed Rocket, and I forget what else they showed, but we're getting those cards back for TCG.
That's cool.
'Cause I've missed those. Those were so cool. Like I love being like, oh, I have Bugsy's whatever, like those are cool. And like we've had a couple of those, but they've been more like here's a Pokemon and you have a trainer on the card with them. It's not specifically
Yeah, like I know that like I have an Obstagoon card that has Piers in it, and it doesn't say it's Piers' Obstagoon. It just says Galarian Obstagoon. So it would have been
Yeah,
nice to see a Piers Obstagoon card.
exactly. And like have the little like, I think they're gonna go back to having like the trainer's face down at the bottom or like right under the image kind of thing. So that'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to those.
Yep, it makes me want to buy more cards.
Yeah, they're like buy our expensive cardboard.
Yep. All right. So next, you kind of did it a little bit already, but this is the emote elaboration. So go ahead and share some of your favorite emotes that are themed off Pokemon and explain why they are what they are.
So I'll post this one first. So this is I love this emote so much. It is one of my favorites. It's me. Everyone thinks it's a V. I'm a VTuber when they see these. I'm like, no, it's just me. It's me as a little guy. And it's the Subway Boss hat, but it's recolored to be pink and purple.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Ingo and Emmett's Subway Boss hat because I do love Gen 5. And I love the Subway Bosses. I need to rebuild it in my new housing, but I had a shrine to them in my old apartment, like a 3 shelf shrine. A lot of merch of them. But I love that one. Um, and then this one, my Dedenne with a gun. We looked at that one already, but I don't know. I wanted a gun emote, and I was like, who deserves to have a gun? Dedenne. I don't know. I looked at him and I said he deserves it. He deserves to have a gun. Uh, then I have go. I have my shiny Palmot holding a shiny charm because I was very inspired. So many other content creators have emotes that they have a shiny charm of some kind. So I was like, I want a little luck emote. People can spam. Thank you, Rav. I see you posting those. And then my other one is another shiny Palmot. And he's just confused. He's lost. He doesn't know what's going on. There's probably not a lot going in that around in his head, and I relate to that. He's very confused. He doesn't know what's happening. Um, and as for those are just my Pokemon ones. I didn't want to have a lot of specifically Pokemon ones. I wanted to have more variety and things that like my emotes could be used in other channels and when I'm doing other variety. So
Mm-hmm.
I do have some Pokemon ones planned. I do want to do some Delibird ones. Like I said, Delibird is my favorite Pokemon. Um, so I think my next ones will probably be a Delibird, and then I also love Iron Bundle. The fact that Delibird got a Paradox Pokemon, I was ecstatic. And I know people are like, I don't like the irons. I'm sorry, I like them. I like the robots. I think Iron Bundle is great. He's got like a freaking cannon as his little bag. He's gonna blast you with it. I love it. I think he's great. He's the little guy. Um, so definitely I want to do emotes of those two. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with them yet. I'll probably do like a Christmassy one with Delibird just because it's fitting. Like maybe have a little like Christmas bow or something. Like he's already Christmas colored, so it's hard
Mm-hmm.
to add more. But I want to do something hopefully soon.
Yeah, I
Um,
hear you.
but my emote artist is Wilma. I'll post that link so you have it. Sorry, I thought I had it up, but I closed it. Where did they go? I'll have to link that to you so you can have that. They might have changed their name. Oh no, I found them. I lied. I just can't spell. Um there we go. But yeah, Goma Yami on Twitter is my emote artist. They're great. I love them. They do a lot of Castlevania art. They do other emotes and stuff for people. As a heads up, they don't speak English, so like, it's sometimes it's a struggle because you're going back and forth with a translator. But they're super nice. They always do great work. They've always let me make changes if I'm like, oh, I think we had a miscommunication here. Um, but they're literally, I exclusively use them for my emotes, and I will continue to do so, which helps me deal with the bots when they're like, hey, you need emotes, and I'm like, no, I have one artist. They're like, but I couldn't. I was like, I'm very much, I want all my emotes to be cohesive. Um, I do like when people have so many different artists. It's very cool, but I really like mine being cohesive and in the same style. So I'm excited to get more emotes and hopefully other art for my channel from them.
Fully understandable. I have like 3 different artists for my emotes, and I'm just gonna post the whole lot of them that are Pokemon based right now. Yay!
They're so cute.
All right, so
Aww.
my emotes are a mixture between Sunny, video game Shay, and Chris Killens. But so I have a shiny Zoroa giggling. It's basically a play on for like a scene of the Zoroa giggling in the Zoroark movie.
Oh yeah, I was about to say like, oh, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. My band hammer is a like high dragon, banging his little heads, his little head hands on the floor. I have Obstagoon themed emotes for just a regular Obstagoon, Jammin', Hype, Rage. I got one that's like a mixture of fusion of Piers and Obstagoon fused together.
That's cute.
I got Shiny Greninja as my high emote, Darkrai is my lurk emote because Darkrai lurks in the shadows. Regidrago is my shiny luck emote because Regidrago is my very first on-screen shiny, so I pay his homage to that.
That's so nice.
Yep. Pog is I got shiny Zoroark. I got a sus emote that no one ever uses. That's Grimmsnarl.
Maybe they're saying you're not sus.
I don't know.
Maybe it's chat saying that you're not sus.
I don't know. Maybe I should use it in a chat command. I don't know. But I got a Lantern themed emote because I fell in love with Lantern after a electric only Nuzlocke in Shield, and unfortunately I lost her before the final battle.
No.
I was grinding and I didn't think and I thought I had enough HP to live, but I didn't. So unfortunately I lost my sushi.
I've I've lost some sad Pokemon and Nuzlocks before. I'm due to do another Nuzlocke. I feel like I'm ready emotionally.
Yeah, I need to restart my Platinum Nuzlocke because I don't even remember where I left off in that series, to be honest. But
I've only done one, and I cried a lot. And I did an egg lock. So chat, I caught a bunch of Pokemon in the first area. Then I would trade it all, and chat would give me eggs, and then we went from there, and we let chat name them. It
I
was
see,
traumatizing.
gotcha. All right, so I also have a GG emote as my just a dust ball being successfully capturing a Pokemon. And one of my most favorite emotes is my Pride Tomb emote. So Spiritomb with all the Pride colors, and its orbs are different colors of the Pride
Oh,
flag.
that's cute.
I have a history with Alolan Vulpix, and I could have made this emote shiny, but I decided not to. But I currently sorry. I shiny hunted Alolan Vulpix in every game it's available in, including Let's Go. And those trade hunts, not fun.
No, I can't imagine.
Yeah, but luckily I was lucky to get that one. And also, my favorite fighting type as of this generation is Annihilate. So I have like it punching the ground, and the term of phrase is monkey.
Monkey.
Yeah, just monkey without the Y. Monkey.
Yeah, with the E.
Yeah. And I also have my one of my most used emotes is my Galarian Zigzagoon biting down on a heart. Everyone loves that one.
Aw, that one's cute. My
All
cat
right.
finally woke up, but she's ran away behind the curtain. I was gonna snag her, but she's gone.
Oh no.
I'll snag her before the podcast ends.
All right. Well, now we come to the point in the game where we share some of our coolest or strangest experiences when it comes to Pokemon. So, per the guest request, we're not going to be sharing any clips today. So, but on the other hand, Cheesecake does have a lot of experience, like a lot of experiences she can bring to the table. So, I honestly want to know, like some of your experiences with Pokemon cosplaying. Like, give us some war stories behind that and how those experiences turned out for you.
Okay, I think the funniest story is one of my really good cosplay friends, Shotaro's. Um, we met. Well, when Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire came out, I was like, I want to cosplay Tabitha, but like his new version. So I made the cosplay. It came out really nice. And at this time, I was living in Kansas and I was going to conventions there. And I was literally the only Tabitha cosplayer that was posting on like Tumblr. I was
Hmm.
the only one. I think, and I like still like it's not super popular that version. They want to go for the RSE version because whatever reasons. I don't know. I love him. I think he's great. And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Anime Expo. I'm gonna travel to California, go to Anime Expo. And I guess that my now friend like was like a big fan of my cosplay and they cosplayed as the Oris Maxi. And they're following me around the convention that day that I was in that cosplay. And someone's like, oh, have you seen the Maxi cosplayer? And I was like, no, I haven't seen any yet. And they're like, there was one like right over there. And finally I ended up like seeing them and I was like, oh, hi, like we should get a picture. And they're like, I've been wanting to say hi to you for like an hour. And I was like, oh, and they're like, yeah, I'm a big fan of you on Tumblr. And I was like, starstruck a little bit. We ended up hanging out. They were super, super nice. I felt really bad because like sometimes when you buy cosplay online, it falls apart. It's no not made well. Some I've had plenty that are made great. They had some issues with theirs where like their glasses broke, then their shoe broke, and I was like, all right, buddy, we're gonna take you to cosplay repair. And I'm like, I just met this person, but I'm gonna sit here and fix their cosplay with them because I knew how to fix it and I'm pretty good at cosplaying and knowing resourceful ways of how to fix things, whether it's temporary or permanent. Um, and then later we went to the Pokemon meetup, and they were very small, and I thought I was stronger than I was. And I was like, I'm gonna pick you up. And they're like, okay. So I picked them up, and then someone slightly bumped me, and we're on stairs. And then I dropped them down the stairs. So it's just Tabitha fucking dropping Maxie down these stairs. They were fine. We were both fine. And then I like fell down the stairs a little bit too. And people were like, oh shit, these Team Magma homies are just falling down the stairs. We were fine. We finished the photo shoot. And then we ended up like getting all the Team Magma people when we were hanging out, and that was great. And that's how we became best friends. I dropped them down the stairs. So like whenever they introduced me, they're like, oh yeah, Cheesecake and I met because she dropped me down the stairs. Um that's probably the wildest thing I've done in Pokemon cosplay. Um, it's great, and like we every year for a few years at Anime Expo, we'd go in those cosplays, and I think it was the next year when we were like more friends. We became friends after I dropped them, but when we were closer, we ended up like getting all the Team Magma grunts, and we're like, okay, guys, we're taking you to Starbucks, and it was like we just took them on a field trip. We just took all the Team Magma people, and that was fun. It was a good time. I've done a lot of cursed things in my Tabitha cosplay. But yeah, that for that one, that would That's the most cursed interactions.
Makes me now want to do a Piers cosplay now because I feel like I'm gonna wind up hitting people with my wig and then pushing them in directions they don't want to go.
Pushing them downstairs.
Oh no, senor! Oh my lord!
But I've had plenty of wonderful experiences where just people have been super nice. Most recently I got to go to Comic-Con for a day and they had a huge Pokemon Horizons booth, which I was really I didn't even know. Like it was kind of last minute. One of my friends was like, "Hey, I bought tickets, but now I live halfway across the country. You want to go to my mom's house and go pick up 3 tickets and take some friends?" And I was like, "Sure." And I was like, "I'm gonna wear Liko. It's a comfy cosplay. It's in the middle of summer." Um, and I was like, "Wait, there's a fucking Pokemon Horizons booth. What?" So I got to take a picture with the big Sprigatito mascot. They had a bunch of cool stuff, and the staff were super super nice. They said I was super cute. I didn't realize till after, but literally Pokemon Company staff were taking photos of me, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" I realized after, and I was like, "Wait, that wasn't just a random attendee wanting photos of me. That was a staff member."
Wow!
Um, and when I posted a couple of the photos on Twitter, the official Pokemon account actually liked it, and I was like, "Oh, they noticed me." So that
Sweet
was
lord!
very. But if you haven't watched Pokemon Horizons, please watch Pokemon Horizons, guys. It's wonderful. I know
I've
y'all
seen
miss
a look.
Ash,
I've
but
seen a
Liko
look.
is.
I've seen a little bit of it, but I haven't seen the whole enchilada. When
Yeah.
Senpai notices you.
Senpai, that's literally how I felt. I was like, "Oh my god, Pokemon Company Senpai has noticed me."
Yeah, I would have been. I probably would have been the same way if I was in your shoes. But speaking of Pokemon, you went to Worlds, so let me know how'd that go.
That was amazing. It was I'm wearing my little world shirt right
Yeah,
now.
I knew you were.
Um it was an amazing experience. I cosplayed 2 of the days. So I cosplayed as, if you guys have seen the third Pokemon movie, Molly Hale, the little girl. There's at one point when she fights Brock and she turns herself into an adult. I cosplay that version. So normally when I wear that at cons, people don't know who I am. But it was really nice for people to come up and be like, "Oh my god, you're dressed as Molly from the third movie." Where like I was like, it's a really like I was like, people still aren't gonna know, but like this is the place where people are gonna know if they know. And it was really great for people to be like, "Oh my god." That it was Hawaii is gorgeous. It was humid and I hated that. So I being in cosplay wasn't great, even though the cosplays I was in were like they were very good for the weather. They weren't like layers, not like Tabitha who's in literally a sweater bodysuit. I don't know what Team Magma's thinking. It was very hot and humid, so that I didn't like, but meeting so many wonderful people. People were super nice, so like how they have it set up, if you've never seen the event, whether live streamed or not, they had it set it as Pokemon Unite had a stage, Pokemon TCG had a stage, then it was Pokemon VGC, and then it was Pokemon Go. And they had basically rows of seats that were in front of it, and then they had 2 monitors playing whatever the event is so you could see it. For like TCG, you could see, their placing and everything. Unite was super cool because they're behind these things because they're kind of hunched down playing the game and in front of their monitors. You could play it. It was cool because like Unite is on different. It's on both mobile and Switch. If you wanted to, people were playing on their mobile phones or whatever mobile device were provided to them. Probably because that's usually how they do use their devices. They had big screens in front of each person, so you could sit there and still see them, even though they were like behind this. It was like a weird. They were sitting down there at a table, basically. Um, that was awesome. Pokemon Go fans are insane, and they were more hyped than any other championship that was being played. Like they were more hyped than the Unite players, which I was surprised. Like they were unhinged. They were unhinged in the best way, and I love that for them. Um, I got to see Sejun Park play with his Pachirisu live in the front row, which was amazing. I know he lost, but I got to see him and his Pachirisu take on Worlds live, which is amazing. If you don't know, he won Worlds 10 years ago with a Pachirisu, and he was like, "I'm bringing it back."
Yeah, I remember that
Um,
story.
yeah, that was very good. Um, but it was everyone was so nice, and like if I didn't understand what was happening, like I watched TCG, which I don't know too well. I definitely want to learn more on it. I'd be like, wait, why is this happening? And you could ask anyone around you, and someone would know, and they would answer and be super super nice. Like, or like I'd say something, be like, oh, what's that? And then they'd be like, oh, and then they'd like tell you, and everyone was just super nice and like there's a couple times I had to like get up and go like refill my water. I was like, "Can you watch my stuff?" And like I trust these people to watch my stuff. I probably shouldn't have, but I did. Like it was whatever. But yeah, even the staff was super nice. The Pokemon Center was insane. The first I had a you had to like do a booking times, and my booking time was like 5 p.m. on Thursday, and I don't know, I did not get into like 7:30, and everything was gone for the most part. I was able to get a lot of merch. I got a lot of merch for friends. So I got most of the things I wanted. Um, but it was insane. But all the staff were just doing their best. They were all super nice. Pokemon Company did hire a lot of locals, which was important for those that don't know. Maui was on fire when they announced Worlds last year, and it was kind of awkward. And they're still suffering. There's still people just living in hotels. So it was interesting, like when I was getting checked out, I was like, "Hey, like, are you local?" I just was chatting up and like, "Oh, I live on Maui, but I wasn't affected." And I just was like, is your family okay? Your friends okay?" And it was, they were like glad. They're like, "Oh yeah, like they're doing okay." And then hearing about how they're like, "We're really glad that you guys care about us because that was important." So I was glad that like the fans were being respectful for the most part, from what they were saying. Um, and that we just cared, and that Pokemon was hiring people who were in need and the locals, because that's a big thing. Is Hawaiian culture is very delicate, and we there is things where like rich Americans are buying up huge plots of land just to have a vacation home and not even living there, and knowing that Pokemon tried to give back and respect the actual Hawaiian culture. It didn't it There's always still like a little bit of the stereotypical Hawaiian vacation-y things to it, but a lot of it was very traditional. They hired um traditional dancers to perform. Many of like For what Worlds does is they hire people to do songs for Worlds, and they hired several actual like Hawaiian local bands, or like groups. So they definitely were making sure they were respectful to the culture. And the actual locals that I spoke to were like, yeah, no, they're being respectful. They're trying to make sure like they do it right. So that I really like. That was very important to me. Hearing all that. I could go on about Worlds. I could go on about Worlds. There were so many wonderful things. I guess another cool thing is they did the light show. That was probably one of the best things. They did a drone show over the water, so it was all reflecting. It was like 10 minutes long. Um, and I don't know. That was super fun. I ended up like running into a bunch of other like I don't know how. I ended up running into all the Pokemon content creators. So if you guys know what Cerebi is, I got to meet Joe and his lovely wife Marty. They were absolutely sweet, down to earth people. Down to take photos with people and just chat. So I was lucky to hang out with a bunch of other creators there. And I didn't get in through a creator pass. I was denied my creator pass, but I think I asked a little bit too late. I didn't find the link for it till much later. But I had several like big time Pokemon creators were like, just because you don't have a creator pass doesn't mean you're not a Pokemon creator and that you don't belong here. So all the staff, everything like that, even all the people and other creators, like it didn't matter if like this is some huge big name partner. I got to see Glitch City there, and their wonderful partner, Agent V. Like they were all super super nice, and just want to hang out and have a good time. Yeah, that's Worlds in a nutshell, and I could go on forever and ever and ever about it.
Yeah, it just makes me think I gotta get out more because most of the most amazing things I've done regarding Pokemon, I've done in this chair. I've done in front of this monitors.
It was worth it because last year I watched Worlds online and I knew friends that went, and I definitely had the FOMO, the feeling of missing out, and I'm like, I started saving literally right after Worlds happened. I was like, I'm gonna start setting money aside. I want to go. I don't care how. So that's, and I'm lucky to have family in Hawaii. So getting to the airport and back, I didn't have to pay for that. I got some free meals when I was there. Um, but I definitely like planned for. I was like, I need to go. I don't want to miss out because it was such amazing experience. And I'm lucky as a someone who lives in California. I'm very lucky the next 2 years are in California, and next year I just have to drive 2 hours and I get to go to Worlds.
I'm glad you were able to go.
Yeah, no, if you can make it happen, you know, make it happen. It's definitely worth it to go once, to meet everyone, to experience everything in person because it's so different than watching the live streams.
All right, I asked this question. Well, I asked you this question and for you to sit on it before we went live. But do you have any Pokemon hot takes?
I think I thought of one and then I totally forgot because we like got into it. I mean it's not like none of my I feel like I don't have a lot of hot takes that like people would say is like they wouldn't agree with me. I feel like a hot like that's like not like controversial, but like some of them maybe everyone would agree with. I don't think I have like anything that I can think of that would be like a hot take.
Well, this is just my personal opinion, but I kind of think Garchomp's overrated.
That's fair. I feel like I'm indifferent with Garchomp. I'm like I like him, but I wouldn't die without him. Like if the new gen, if Gen 10 they said, "Sorry, the Garchomp line is not in that game." I'd be like, "Okay." And then I would move on. I'd be like, "I guess I can't shiny hunt it in that game, but whatever. I'll shiny hunt it in Scarlet Violet."
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not that I hate Garchomp. I love Garchomp, but at the same time, I don't think it's one of the. I don't think it's one of the greatest Pokemon of all time. Like everyone loves to say it is. I don't.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess I don't know if it's a hot take. It's just something I want. Is like we've gotten it before. We got Pokemon Origins. It was very short, but I'm like, I wish we got more content that was like game based. Like
Uh
give
huh.
us more animes. And it sucks cuz like I love those, but a good example is Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield's story was very lacking. But we got a lot of side content that expanded on characters. And like if that's how we're going to get it, I want more of that. I want to learn more about the daily lives of our gym leaders and Elite 4 and things like that because like um things like Twilight Wings, we learn so much more about the gym leaders. But
Uh huh.
when you play the game, you're like, I don't care about this character. We have two lines of dialogue. We fight them. They say goodbye, give us a TM, and then we don't talk to them ever again. And I guess like I understand. There's only so much they can have, so like just give me more weird content. And give me more content with the manga. Like don't let it just be the manga. I want more. Give us an anime based on the manga.
I hear you there.
even though it's a little problematic in the third volume.
Well, this would normally be the point in the show when we would start talking about Pokemon news as of late, but there's one big thing circling around the Pokemon world right now that there's been some recent leaks apparently going on, and we at pokeNERDS Inc. do not support any of that stuff. So, per like, I was gonna say this out of professional courtesy, we will not be discussing those topics today.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say on that is if you're gonna share anything, please stop posting people's real names, their addresses, and personal content, like contact info, because that's what I'm hearing right now is people's real names that work for the company. For don't share that stuff, guys. If you're gonna
Yeah.
share it, at least crop that stuff out. Like it doesn't need to spread more than it has. Like you are putting people's lives in danger. That's essentially doxing. Yeah,
As
it's
the old
doxing, guys. So please keep in mind. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Be considerate to other people. Use certain keywords and hashtags. So if people want to block that, they can block it. Um, that's all I want to say on it is like be courteous to the employees who are probably very scared and stressed out right now.
as the old saying goes, "Don't be a dick."
Yes, don't be a dick. Um, but
All
yeah, other
right.
than that, I'm for news though. I'm excited for Pocket. I know Pocket has released for Australia, I believe so far. I think just them. Um, it's supposed to come out more. I think next month. I think for more regions. But I got to play Pocket at Worlds, and it's literally just you open packs. You get to like
Excuse me
see
for a moment.
further into the cards. That's what I'm super excited for. Um, and it's cool because like if you flip the pack and then you open it from behind, you'll actually open the cards will be backwards. You'll be seeing the back of the card instead of the face of the card. So that's kind of the news that I'm excited. Like we know stuff, but it's since it's very limited region wide, we don't know too much about it. I think you can open it. I don't know if it's just a one pack a day or a couple a day, but I'll definitely be. I know it's like you can open at least a pack a day. I'll definitely be doing that on stream or Discord or something.
Ooh, sorry about that.
No, you're good. But yeah, I think that's all I'm excited for. I'm excited to see where ZA takes us. I want to see more, but I want Pokemon to take their time on it. I
Yep.
want it to simmer because I loved Arceus. Arceus is also one of my favorite Pokemon games. They did such an amazing job. It looked great. It was super fun. I like having fall damage. That's what I want back. Give me my fall damage back because I like jumping off a cliff and then getting KO'd by the ground. Whereas in Scarlet and Violet, my little Rotom saves me.
All right. So now we're at the last leg of the show where I like to give the guests the time to give us the inside scoop as to any future plans they have or the things that they plan to do in the near future or goals that they want to achieve within the next few years or so. So what you got going on?
I guess one of the most exciting things that happened about 2 weeks ago now is I passed my professor certification for the video game. So I'm legally a Pokemon professor. So I'm excited to get more into that. The only unfortunate thing is nowhere near me does the video game. They all do TCG. Um, so now you have to wait a month. Every time you get a certification, you can wait a month to get the next one. The next one would be TCG. I get to choose. I can do TCG or I can do organizer. I'll probably do TCG. And then if I do organizer, I could potentially bring video games to my locals. I do have a locals that's super close to me. Um, and I went over there and I was like, "Do you guys do video game? It says online you do." And they're just like, "No, I don't know why it says that." And I'm like, "Dang," but like I'll be back. So excited to learn more about TCG, pass certification on that, and then hopefully pass organizer, and then work more events, work my locals, once a week if I can. So man, I'm excited. I got into the professor Discord yesterday, or it was like super late last night, so I haven't like looked into it much, but I'm excited to see where that takes me because like I like going to events. I've only gone to one big one before for Pokemon. I'm a former competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player, so I'm not unaware of how those events are. I guess it's been two because I went to Worlds and then I went to a Los Angeles regional last year or last season. Um, but I'm a pro like so I'm a former pro professional Yu-Gi-Oh player, so I kind of know the gist of how those events work. So I want to get more into it. Work on I'm my plan is to work on my sign language certificate for interpreting so then I can be an interpreter for Pokemon at events. When
Cool.
I was chatting up some wonderful staff members, some other professors at Worlds. I was like, "Hey, like this is what I want to do. What should be my steps?" So I have kind of a game plan on how to go about that. And they said it's probably about 3 years of working regionals, NAICs, your locals before you get to work Worlds. But they're like, "Yo, we only have one ASL translator, so like." If you're you learn the Pokemon terminology and you prove yourself, there's a chance you could get in sooner than that. I think
That's
that's
amazing.
that's my little goal, which isn't like content creating, but it's very Pokemon related, and I'm very passionate about it.
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely amazing.
As for content creating, I'm still sticking with Pokemon. I said earlier, like I would love to get a capture card so I can play some of my original cartridges and do some shiny hunting. Um, But other than that, like I'm just working. I'm really happy. They recently opened for Twitch the Pride Guild, so I'm in that along with the Women's Guild. So I'm definitely want to like work with more Pokemon creators that are within the guilds and see what stuff we can throw together.
Mhm. And still, major congratulations on that front.
Of course.
Uh,
Thank you.
yeah,
And you?
me on the other hand, I'm just gonna just keep doing what I'm doing. I want to finish. I'm gonna keep doing these podcast series, and I'm gonna wrap up season 3, plan season 4, and continue on with the least favorite shiny hunt shenanigans, and get as far in that as I possibly can, and just continue to do this for the reason that I started doing this in the first place, to have fun, because for a while I lost my way as a creator and I honestly lost myself. So this is just me also trying to reinvent myself and reshape who I really want to be as a creator. So I know that when I came back to content creation, I wanted to continue this series because there are people like you that I really want to interview and have on this show, and it just still warms my heart that people, after all this time that I've been, after the 6 months that I've been away, still would like to be interviewed by me. So again, it just means the world to me that you were able to take a little bit of time out of your day to sit down with me and let me interview you.
Yeah, of course. And I feel super honored that you reached out. I was like kind of scared, but like I it felt great. And honestly, I'm glad you took the time to like take care of yourself. Like it sucks leaving content creation. It's scary to take a step away from it because it's like, are people gonna wait for you? And you never know if they are or not. And it's like, and I've even seen, huge creators where they're like, I came back to basically nothing, and it's scary. It can happen, but there are people that want to come back. They're excited to have you. And even if like the people that stick there, they're there for you. They understand, mental health will always take a priority. So if you ever, taking a step back is important. And if you didn't like sometimes people will just burn themselves into a ground and it's past the point of, oh, I just need to take a couple 6-month break and then I'm going to be back rolling for years to come. And if they don't, then it's game over and they can't come back because it's been too emotionally taxing.
Exactly. I appreciate you saying all that. I really do.
Oh, of course. It's literally the most important thing. And if people are gonna be dicks, as we like to say, about taking a break, taking care of yourself, like yes, you're a performer, you're the showman, but like you've gotta take a step back sometimes to worry about you.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So my tradition for the show is guest chooses the raid. So where are we sending all these nerds today?
Let's see. I had some ideas. Let me see if they're still live.
Doesn't matter who it is. You can choose whoever you want. Doesn't matter what they're playing either.
Okay. She's been live for a little while, but I think she's still going. This is something way out of left field, so it's not Pokemon related. A fellow guild member right now, Moo Hoodles, was invited by NASA to go to the Kennedy Space Center and is having a tour and is going to be streaming the Europa Clipper launch tomorrow. So she is now like an official like NASA content creator, which is insane.
D to the Zam.
Yeah, insane. Like this is the biggest of wins. So
Yeah.
let me.
Just put her name in the chat, and I'll put it in my thing.
Oh, okay. Here, I was gonna DM it, but I can post it here. So she looks like she's in like the she's just in the gift shop right now, but she was like recording. She was like in meetings with NASA, and they were talking about projects coming up. That was super cool. That was happening earlier before the podcast.
Wait, what's their
Moo Hoodles?
Moo Hoodles?
I posted it in chat.
I can't
Oh,
I can't see links.
oh, there we go. I DM'd it to you in the podcast lobby.
Yep, I found her.
All right, cool.
Yeah, she's definitely in the NASA gift shop.
She's in the NASA gift shop right now. She was in meetings earlier, so but yeah, she's with like a tour group of some other content creators as well. There's just like a few of them, and then a bunch of people from NASA.
But yeah, this will definitely be a first for me. I've never raided into somebody who's literally at NASA.
Yeah. So, but thank you so much. I had so much fun, and thank you everyone who was hanging out in chat. Thank you for supporting Poké Network and I.
Yep. If you're subscribed to my channel, please copy and paste this raid message. If you are not subscribed to the Poké Network, you can use this raid message. You can copy and paste them, and I'll give you guys a second to do so while I get the raid ready. Copy that. All right. So, do you have a special outro that you do? Like
no, I usually just post my social links. I say thank you guys for hanging out, and I kind of just dip. Sometimes we talk a little bit, but I don't have any special outro. So if you have one, the floor is yours.
Well, my outro is normally I usually say I want to thank you all again for choosing the back alley as your place to hang out. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Till next time, you nerds. But in honor of the True Turbo, I like to conclude every podcast by saying stay safe. Stay safe, stay rockin', stay true to yourself. I will see you guys. I'll see you guys again soon with another podcast, and this one will be the Halloween episode. So I'm gonna be in a costume. I don't know if my guest will be, but I'll see if she will be. And yes, there's another. Yes, we got another lady lined up. All right.
Let's go, the girls.
All right. Thank you again for tuning in to pokeNERDS Inc. We'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.